Well, hello YouTube. It's been a while since I've been able to make a new video, but I just really wanted to get on and just kind of explain a little bit about what's been going on. And I think today's topic for me is going to be really how to defeat a narcissist. Um, I've come to the realization that when you say that name to certain people and you start explaining your situation, everyone looks at you like you're absolutely insane. That's my experience, at least. So the easiest way for me to do this and for me to get through this process of dealing with a narcissist and I guess parallel parenting with one is to just let them continuously hang themselves over and over and over again. Always let them underestimate you. Okay, I know that sounds ridiculous, but they think that they are the best thing since sliced bread. So let them believe it. That little ego that's going on inside of their brain telling them that they're awesome and they're superior and just God's given gift. Let them believe it. Just let them go through life thinking that. And what I've come to realize is the more and more and more they think they're getting over on people and they think they're winning in a situation, they're hanging themselves. They're hanging themselves by just being them, by doing the things that they're doing, lying, hiding, denying, blame shifting, projection. Once you learn all of these terms, it's so easy to identify. And over the course of a time, I was so emotionally invested in the relationship because I never knew about narcissism. But once I started catching on to the situation and I saw things for what it was, I went into observer mode. And that's what you have to do. So you kind of have to play stupid, like you don't really understand what's going on and that it is affecting you. And as time goes on and you really get yourself in that observer mindset, they don't see what's coming because they expect you just to be that little doormat that you've always been, that they can walk all over, lie to, cheat, manipulate, steal, whatever it is. All of our situations are different. But in that case, I let it happen to me. You have to let them think they're winning or getting one over on you. It's like a chess game to them. That's all life is just chess pieces. And mine in particular, well, not mine now, but he sat around and played chess obsessively. And I never understood really why. But now I get it because it's like literally his life. So you have to literally let them think they're winning the game. And when everything comes down and the shit storm hits, just have your moves ready. Just be ready. And when it comes to the smear campaign, when it comes to the gaslighting, the projection, all of that stuff, the biggest mistake I made was oh man, what's the way to put this? The biggest mistake I made was actually giving him the energy, giving him the time to actually sit there and think that he was getting over on me. That was so hard for me. But once I saw past all the bullshit, all the games, all the lies, all the manipulation, inside I knew exactly what he was doing. I let him do it. And over time, I slowly watched him start to decompose, like mentally, physically, emotionally. Like they cannot hold it together for long because they know this little facade, charade, whatever you want to call it, that they're putting up, it doesn't last for long. And narcissists only get worse with age. So I'm going to tell you what. I'm jumping from subject to subject, but when it comes to really defeating them, you just have to let them hang themselves. That's it. They are going to, just being them in itself is torture. So they're hanging themselves every day because they're just desperate for praise, admiration, attention, and anyone who chases things like that it's never going to have a good, like, outcome. Never. Never. Because happiness comes from within, which is the biggest and, like, the most important thing that they cannot seem to comprehend. So let them hang themselves. They're going to do it. They're going to keep meeting people who are of their caliber, which is low vibration, low energy. And as time goes on, they're going to decompose. They're going to decompose mentally, physically, spiritually, if they even have any. My experience, he didn't. And that's it. I mean, if you stop believing in this delusion that they have brainwashed you to believe, it's no longer true. They do this on purpose because they want people to live in this lie with them. But once you get to the point where you know they're fucking with your head, you know they're bullshitting you, you know all of their little tactics and sick manipulative games and everything they have to do, it eventually has to come to a stop. You know, it does. So that's why they go for weaker, more vulnerable, insecure, empty people, because those are the ones that are easy to control. And when they see that you are not weak, you are not vulnerable, you have confidence, you have a good moral compass, you know who you are, your spirit can't be broken, and just in general, they can't break you, they have no other choice but to move on and find something else. So the best thing to do, again, is to just play dumb. Play dumb. Don't overreact, because that was one of my mistakes in the beginning, as well as overreacting. And he was trying to frame me, set me up. He knew what he was doing all along. Writing ex-girlfriends on Facebook, trying to say that it was me. I did it, knowing he did. That's how low these people will go. They will, like, try to do certain things, and what it really comes down to is they want to get a reaction out of you. And when they don't get that reaction out of you, and they're telling all these people, these smear campaigns, that you're this and that you're that, and that you did do it or you didn't do it, people are going to look at them like they're fucking stupid. Because my ex-narcissist is 38 years old. And when you're running around at that age with 2 kids, gossiping like a 15-year-old, always pointing the finger at other people, always never taking accountability for your actions, people are going to see through that shit like that. Unless, what we were just talking about earlier, unless you're weak, you don't have a backbone, you have a bad background, you have insecurities yourself, and you don't have a moral compass or self-worth, those are the only people that's going to feed into that shit. So that's their karma right there, is bouncing around, thinking they're superior, knowing internally that they're not, and having other people of the lowest vibration possible feeding into it. So my best revenge is actually just moving on and being happy, getting me back, and realizing that this is his life. It's never going to change. He's never going to change. And it's sick how they actually want to live this way. But, you know, happiness comes from within. And what can you say? Misery loves company. Hurt people hurt people. And as soon as you realize that, which took me 11 years to see all of this for what it was and to finally get the fuck out, I feel so relieved. I feel so relieved. I feel so much better. I remember just shaking and looking all crazy and trying to tell my story, and everyone's just looking at me like I'm the problem. But when you actually step back and you just let them hang themselves and make themselves look like a fool, you can't hide the truth. There's 3 things you cannot hide: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And these people will always expose themselves. That's why they're so quick to discard people, because they know that gig is only going to be good for so long. So I don't want to make the video too long, but I just felt the need to kind of hop on and just vent a little bit, because I've been going through a lot of shit lately, especially with this, what seems to be a malignant narcissist. I've done a lot of research on this, and it's almost like they carry a textbook around, just like opening it, you know. It's really stupid, but this can't go on forever. So let's keep the narcissism and the narcissistic traits more talked about, more known about, and eventually we're gonna have to shine the light on them. They can't hide forever, and hopefully people like that will dwindle away. And if they don't dwindle away, they sure are gonna look like dumbasses. And that's the easiest way to put it. So I've never been happier in my life, and if you're out there and you are just feeling mentally drained, like you do not even want to get out of bed, like you don't want to eat, sometimes you can't sleep, when you do sleep you're in bed all day, you're confused, you're just discombobulated about what was real, what wasn't. I got to a point where I felt like I was traumatizing myself. You know, I wanted to blame him for so long about all the shit that had happened to me. But there came a day where I realized it was never intentional. This is just a pattern they deal with on a day-to-day basis that they want so desperately to get out of. But attention, praise, and admiration is the new currency to them. It's more important than money. It's more important than family. It's more important than anything meaningful. They live a life of nothingness. And again, that's why you just have to let them hang themselves. And when they see you happy and when they see you doing good, they hate it. And they'll continue to hang themselves. So let's break the cycle of domestic violence, abusive relationships, and not be so hard on ourselves when it comes to all of that stuff. Because I'm telling you, people, I thought for the longest time I was the problem. I was stupid. I was insecure. I was worthless. The smear campaigns, I mean, it gets to a point where they almost convince you that you know, you're the problem, and that all of these things they're saying about you is true, until you step back and you're like, wait, I'm not the one carrying a fucking textbook around. Manipulation, lying, gaslighting, projection, this, that. And when you see it, literally see it right in front of you, all you can do is laugh, because it's a joke. So anytime you see one of these narcissists who's trying to make your life a living hell, just step back and picture a little boy in a corner with his hands over his eyes like this, just crying. Because that's how they feel every single day. And another thing is, I let that hate and that anger and that resentment consume me for the longest time. But I bring back to the point where I was only torturing myself. So it wasn't personal. It's a pattern. It's going to happen to the next. It's going to happen to the next after that. And it's only going to keep happening. And it's a sad situation. I'm an empath. I was always one who wanted to come save the day, be the savior, sweep him off his feet, and I'll be the one to make him better. But that is what they want. They want to prey off of that, because that's how they keep the supply around, is let her think she's actually saving me right now. And I can get what I want. Sex, this, that, the other. All while she thinks she's actually saving something that is irreparable. You know, so I know it's not easy for a lot of people to go no contact. I'm in that situation right now. But make a game plan. Figure out what it is you want to do with your life, with yourself. And just ask yourself, is it worth letting this person destroy me and the qualities that I have to offer? And the answer is no. They can't be fixed. You can. If you were in a relationship with a narcissist and you tried to stick it out, you're a good person. You care about people. And that right there says so much about you, you know? So don't look at it as a loss. Don't look at it as you're losing everything, because in a sense, you're gaining so much just by getting away from this person. And that was the hardest pill for me to swallow in particular, was actually thinking I was going to save him, and also I was losing everything. But until I lost everything, my house, you know, the family image, my credit, almost everything, I thought it was just going to be hell. But until you do lose all of that stuff is when you find out who you truly are and what you are truly capable of. You know, it takes one step to get through that 1,000-mile journey that is only going to lead you towards success. So I know I like to jump around from topic to topic because I have so much to talk about when it comes to this. I've been through it for 11 years. And to be quite frank, now that I've discovered it, it's been happening my whole life. But at least people like us have the opportunity to figure this out, to see it for what it is, and actually break the cycle. Imagine going through life not understanding what narcissism is and just staying there and being comfortable with it and actually thinking that that's normal, which was what I did for so long, you know? So let me think back. Let them hang themselves, because they always will. Let them decompose when they realize they've lost a good person and they cannot steal your qualities, which is exactly what they want to do. Kind heart, goodness, forgiveness, honesty, loyalty, integrity. When they realize they cannot siphon that out of you into them is when they start hating you. So if they're calling you names and telling you you're worthless and this and that and the other, all that means is I'm not good enough for you. Not you to them. But that's what they're projecting onto you, is they feel like they know they are not good enough for you. So it makes them feel insecure and weak and brings them back to that little boy inside that's crying, and they lash out at you. So that right there is how you know you've won. When you see them go into a rage, that's it. That's it. You know that you won the war. Straight up. So stay strong. Do not let these psychological bullies fool you or get you. The only person they're fooling and getting is themselves. And they know it. They know it. That's why they go on these just ridiculous patterns of relationships and issues and problems, because they know that's going to be the rest of their life. So I guess they try to make the best of it by being chaotic, by cheating, by lying, by trying to control people, because they know if anyone sees that side of them, they would fucking scramble. So that's why they have to do the best they can. But when that mask drops, when it drops, they know that she or he is too good for me. So if you're in that situation, like I am and getting out of, just realize once again, you've always been the awesome one. You've always been the one with the good qualities, the good heart, the strength to stick it through, the strength to keep trying, the better parent, the better, you know, it goes so deep. But don't ever lose faith in yourself, because that came so close. And until I had my little girl and grew a new pair of eyes and really realized the situation for what it was, did I find out how on the other side of suffering is absolute greatness. But we have to make those first steps to actually get out and really give it a shot. I know it's scary. I know it sucks. But I am telling you, when you do, you will feel so much more enlightened. You will feel lighter. And you will also feel like you're gaining parts of yourself back that they took away. And that in itself, that's a win. So stay strong, be happy, keep your head up, and do not let these weak, insecure little pieces of shit try to take the good parts of you. That's what they want. It's like the movie, what is that movie called? Where he like steals pieces of bodies and eats it and shit. And that's exactly what they do. They just try to steal little pieces of people and act like it. But it only goes on for so long until the real them comes out. So, be true to yourself. Don't ever let anyone doubt your sanity, doubt anything about you. Because when they try to make you doubt yourself is when you know you're great. So keep it up. Never stop trying. Never stop fighting. And I can't say it enough. Stay true to yourself and always trust your gut instinct. I didn't for the longest time. But when I did is when I grew a whole new pair of eyes about sleeping with the enemy, as to say. So I know it's hard to believe that the person that you loved, in my case for 12 years, 2-year-old daughter, was the biggest con artist I've ever seen in my life. But you just got to let it go. As much as you want revenge and this and that, just being them is revenge. Imagine waking up every day having to control people, manipulate people, gaslight people, smear people's names just to get a little bit of admiration of who they are. Lying to people, just to get some attention. That has got to be pretty shitty, to not have a real self-identity and to know who you are. So you have to run around acting like everyone else and pick up pieces of people's personalities to make it seem like you have one. That's hell. So again, stay strong. Screw these narcissists and let's shine a light on them. They don't deserve your energy, your time, your love, in my case right now, even forgiveness, because it seems like the more I'm trying to get strong, the more he wants to tear me down. So that's why no contact is best, and that's my next step. So I wish you guys the best. If you have any video suggestions, I have plenty of stories to share. Right now I'm just rambling. But yeah, I just, want to give people some inspiration out there who's been through this. I don't think there's enough information about narcissism and how shitty it can be, how horrible it can mess up your mind, and what it can do to you mentally, physically, emotionally. And then them just looking at you like, it's your fault. You're the problem. You always were the problem. And it's a serious sickness, but you got to break away from it. And when you do, you will smell them a mile away and you'll be able to run, unlike I was able to do when I thought that I had found the love of my life. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. So I would always remember that and keep a beautiful smile on your face and keep it pushing. Keep pushing that rock up the hill, and I promise you, everything's going to be okay. And when you get it up the hill, push that damn thing back down and just keep going, going, and going. Never quit fighting. Never stop. Because as soon as you do, they're going to smell it and try to wiggle their way back in. So I wish you all the best. I hope this somewhat made sense of some sort. And yeah, if you ever need someone to talk to about your situation, I know all of this way too well. I don't want to get into my particular story because, as you all know, each narcissist is just a basket case, and they have their own little mind fucks and tricks and this and that they like to do. But it was never personal. They're fighting a battle with themselves. I always thought it was personal until I realized this guy is just an internal hell. And the best revenge is happiness and success. And they want to see you miserable. So move on with your life. Be the best person you can be. Be the best mom, the best dad. And never look back. Never look back on an evil like that. And wish them well, I guess. You know, it's hard for me to do after everything I just endured, but the more I say I hate him or I resent him, or it makes me feel angry. It makes me feel pissed. So it just comes a time where you're like, okay, I know who you are. I know what you've done, but I choose to no longer let you contaminate my mind with your bullshit. Because in a way, or not in a way, but in general, that is a way for them to keep controlling you, because you're always thinking about them, the hatred, the resentment, the regret. So when you just say fuck it and fuck you and I'm going to be happy, what can they do about that other than go find someone else to repeat this shitty ass pattern with? But anyway, you guys have a nice day. My name's Cheyenne, and again, if you have any questions, comments, anything you have to say or want to talk about, comment below and let me know how you feel. Let me know what you're going through, and I'm sure so many of our stories are the same, and I can definitely help you out. So I would honestly love to find other people who are dealing with this, because it's easy to sit and make videos, but it's hard to really help people in bond, you know, when it comes to this. And you've got counselors and life coaches that want to charge you $300, $400, $500 for a couple hours, and coming out of narcissistic abuse, financial abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, who has that? You know, so I think sometimes people just need an ear and not have to pay for it. I mean, it's great to get, you know, paid, but it's also great to help people through what we have just went through, because that is almost like burning in hell. So again, if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, please just let me know. Comment below. My email is CheyBabii, CheyBabii01 @gmail.com, and I will help you out as much as possible. Have a great day.